Welcome to Talking Business. I'm your host, Darcey Edwards with Edwards Realty Trust and Queen Bee Leadership Training. Talking Business is just that. We're talking business with business leaders, entrepreneurs, leaders in the community in Hillsborough, Washington County, and Oregon. This podcast is brought to you by Expose Hope. Catch us on all the platforms: YouTube, Apple, iTunes, Spotify, all the platforms. Like us, rate us, and share us.
Welcome to Talking Business, presented by Expose Hope. And today, I know you're not used to me being the interviewer, but today I am interviewing Darcey Edwards with Queen Bee Coaching. And I knew she couldn't interview herself. So, Darcey, how did you decide to move or add, actually, to Realty coaching?
Because people would ask me questions all the time about business and how they should do that. I came from the Hillsborough Chamber, worked there forever, and learned a lot about business and networking and marketing and so forth. And people would come to me and ask me questions. And I decided, you know what, I should probably have legitimate answers for them, and decided to get my credentials with Brendon Burchard, high performance training.
So how long did that take, and what kind of investment did you have to put into this?
The investment was expensive. That's all I'm going to say. It's very expensive. And about every 2 years, you go in and you get recertified. And so it used to be, before COVID, you'd have to spend the whole week down in a wonderful location, either San Diego or Phoenix, Arizona, and get credentialed. And it was pretty much 8 hours a day practicing coaching with other coaches from around the world. One of the coaches I got to work with this year actually coaches professionals at the WHO. So that level was pretty intimidating, but it was a really good experience.
Wow. So you're constantly updating your knowledge of the field. That's important. You know, out there today, there are a lot of people who are coaches or claim to be coaches. What sets you apart from the others?
So I don't necessarily call myself a business coach, but that's primarily who I work with, is entrepreneurs, realtors, people in that business, and that, you know, that either own a business or they're trying to get that next level. They're trying to get that CEO position. They're trying to move up in their company and so forth. So that's who I mainly focus on. And our coaching philosophy is holistic. So whatever you're doing habit-wise in your personal life is going to happen and it affect your business life, and making those two worlds meld so that you can be more productive and click at a higher level. That's what I call it, clicking at a higher level.
If I were to come to you today, how long would it take you to onboard me?
So I do a preliminary meeting to see if it's a good fit for both of us. There's plenty of people that I've said this is not a good fit, and I'm not the best one for everyone. I'm not for everyone. Let's just say that. We have that we have that phone call or meeting. A lot of mine is actually way before COVID. I was doing Zoom meetings with people from across the world. So when COVID hit, it wasn't much different to my world than it normally was. So are they able to meet you where you are? Are they a good fit on both sides? I generally, when I work with other coaches, I want somebody that makes 3 times more than me, at least. And those are good questions to ask. You know?
That's a great rule of thumb, 3 times more than you, because clearly they can't coach you what they have not done better than you, correct? Awesome.
Sometimes, yeah.
So tell me a little bit about what was the hardest thing that you did starting this? What was the one thing that was the most difficult in starting a coaching business?
I would actually say doing the credentialing for it. We actually do meet with Brendon Burchard, and have to be approved by him. And if you don't know who he is, check him out. He's wonderful. He's written numerous books, and that level that's in that room is so much, I thought, higher up than me, that, I got through that week. And so after that, coaching was easy. I wasn't coaching the guy from the WHO. So, although now I feel like I could do that and feel good about it.
Well, incredible.
So yeah, that was the hardest part, was the credentialing. It's very time consuming. And of course, when you decide to do that, your business explodes over here. And so one of my best years I've ever had was during the time I was getting credentialed for high performance.
Isn't that how it always works? All the blessings come at once.
Yeah.
So
I would say that you have to put on that coat of confidence every single day. Confidence, and also being motivated every single day is like taking a shower. You have to motivate yourself every single day. And so knowing that, then I would plan better for my day, my habits. I'm better now, but making sure that those habits are in alignment with a coaching business, and making sure that I could do that well. And so constantly looking at my habits and tweaking them.
So you, in addition to your coaching, those who you coach can be in a special meeting on Mondays called Rise and Grind.
Right.
It's an accountability program. Tell us about what you do in Rise and Grind.
So Rise and Grind is basically, it's group coaching. And I do charge for that, to be in that group, because of the fact that what is spoken there is so sacred. A lot of times in that group coaching, there's personal things that people are going through that we as a group kind of work together and encourage one another to get through. And so because that's a sacred space, and all coaching is sacred, but that is a sacred space that's kind of public, I do charge for that right to be there so that we know that you're trustworthy enough to share. Because being an entrepreneur, there's some stuff you go through, and not everybody sees it or knows that back here on the back end, you're trying to help a parent through dementia, or you have a child that needs extra care that nobody knows about, and you're fighting a state to try to get through that. So that's why that is a sacred place, and it's a place where we talk about our future and our plans of our businesses, and goals are crushed in that group. It's amazing how many people have crushed those goals through there. And and we see the results of that. And so whenever you speak something in front of other people, it tends to happen, because now you have to see them again every Monday. So you make it happen. So
Most excellent. So tell me about giving back. How do you give back to the community? We probably don't have enough time to list them all, but
I serve on the board for Expose Hope.
yes.
I'm hugely into and support my local chamber, and actually a lot of chambers throughout. I love that. I work at my church or help serve there, and that's, I don't like to talk about that so much. I just like to do it, have it done.
So how important do you think it is for a business to be giving back to the community?
You have to. You have to. It's really, really hard to take money in when your fist is closed. It's really, really hard to do that. And so being a giver in the community affords you the ability to meet people that you've never met before, that you would never be in front of,
Right.
and helping people that you may never know that you ever helped them. And in doing that, that comes back to your business. It's actually biblical, but it comes back to your business, and it's just being a good steward.
Excellent. So if you could name one book that everyone who you coach should read, what would that book be?
There's a lot. Oh wow. There's anything from Brendon Burchard. Read all of them.
Yes.
I call it the manifesto, but it's the motivation manifesto. I think that's what it's called. Anyway, that one is really, really good. Any of his books. His podcast is daily, actually, so that's a really good one. And then my very first book, and I listen to it at least once or twice a year, is by Darren Hardy, and that is called The Compound Effect. Darren Hardy, Compound Effect, is phenomenal. It's a short read. You can listen to it, but that's what will light the fire under your butt for your habits.
And those high performance habits are very important.
Right.
Right.
Because that's how anything that's a habit is either for you or against you. And you got to tame the habit, because that's where the success lies, is in the habits.
Exactly. Well, thank you, Darcey, for being with us, for serving as our usual MC, and for telling us about Queen Bee Coaching and what makes you different. It's so important to know those differences when you're talking to a business. What sets them apart? We hope you'll join us again for Talking Business. Your donations are always hard at work. The other night, one of our ladies called, who we had actually helped before, helped her out of the life. She had a customer in her business who was a domestic violence victim and came out of the life. We were able to hook that woman up with connections and resources to help her start a new life. Domestic violence victims are often given connections to domestic violence services, to grants and loans that will help with housing, and we provide housing and mentors. So, if you'd like to donate today, please go to www.exposehope.com/donate and donate today.
Thank you for listening to Talking Business, brought to you by Expose Hope. We can be found on all of your favorite podcast platforms, YouTube, iTunes, all of them. Also, be sure to like us, share us, and leave a comment. Who do you want to hear from? We want to know.